good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on which part of the world you're listening from. And this is the Feel Good Show with the magnificent one and only. Hopefully, I will be able to bring her on and we'll start chatting. Hello, Jill.
Hello, Nick. Hello, how are you?
Fabulous. Yeah, you're coming through crystal clear.
Oh, that's great. Took me a while. Sorry for the delay there.
Oh, such is life with the technical bits and pieces. So, what exciting adventures have you been on these past few weeks since we last had a chat?
Oh, right. Quite a few. Well, to be honest, since the last time we spoke, loads of great things have happened. I'm using this law of attraction to the max, and it's all really working well. The latest thing I've been working on really is really getting that feel-good factor for real, not just faking it. So I've been doing all kinds of studying and trying things out to get back to feeling happy as quickly as possible. So what about yourself?
Oh, I've been very good, thank you. Just come back from the Abraham cruise, which was absolutely freaking amazing, as you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I think I just love mixing with the people, and surrounding yourself with good people is so important. I was just on a internet do your own website course, and the guy said at the beginning, well, what's the quickest way to make £1 million? And we were just sitting there guessing, win the lottery, marry a millionaire, or whatever. And the answer he said was, well, surround yourself by millionaires, because obviously their consciousness will rub off onto you, and obviously you'll rise to their level. So it really thought the same with spirituality. How do you become happier, enjoy life more, and become abundant, successful? Well, surround yourself by people who are doing that or who want to do that. So it's so great to be in company with people like yourself. So.
Oh, that's lovely. I thought you were going to tell that joke, Nick, where it's how do you become a millionaire? Well, you're a billionaire, then you buy an airline. That's an oldie, but,
that is one way around it.
But having a laugh and surrounding yourself with people that are funny and are generous with themselves is one sure way to feel better yourself. When you're with negative people, it tends to draw you down. You get into this spiral of negativity, and negative emotion then sets in, and that's really what gives you pain and unhappiness. So, yeah, you're right. Being with people that are way up there with the happy stakes, it certainly will rub off on you. And you've been with lots of wealthy people, Nick, so you can get the round in next time we're together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think, though, you've been on a cruise with lots of... Sorry, Nick, what was that?
Oh, have your meetings gone and everything?
Oh, yes, we've had a few meetups. Liverpool were delightful, and we've got London next week on Monday, and then another Liverpool one booked, and then another one at Liverpool University booked for a workshop booked for January. They're sort of more like action planning. Let's get down to this. I've been invited to a conference in London about patient storytelling, which is totally amazing. So all these things that I'm finding are just coming to me now, whereas when I was unsure of what I wanted to do or what direction I was going in, or I wasn't feeling well or something, nothing seemed to be happening for me. But now I've made a commitment to feeling good and feeling positive and getting out there, and I've made a decision that this is what I'm going to be doing with my life, is to be talking and, trying to have some sort of influence to help people feel good on a daily basis. That's my mission in life, and I've made a commitment to it. I'm really, really finding that things are just coming to me. Whatever I need just either turns up. So it's really, really exciting. Not just for me, but, the people, I'm getting some really great feedback as well, which is lovely because, it's kind of endorsing what I'm doing. And I'm so grateful to the people that have sent me messages. So we're just, going with the flow of life, which I think is another good way to feel good on a daily basis, is when you wake up in the morning, try and take a nice few deep breaths and think, well, what am I grateful for? My day's going to be good today, and get that immediate attitude of it's all going to go well from the minute you wake up. And then, how surprising, things go a lot better than if you'd woken up with like a bear with a sore head, got out of bed the wrong way, stubbed your toe, tripped over. There really is a good flow when you make a commitment to letting go. Let go of all the worry and stress and strain, and just focus on the day ahead and the now, and just being. And it's amazing how it can just all slot into place quite simply and productively. And so did you get all that? Have you taken, there's an exam on it at the end. Since I came to your Law of Attraction meeting 2 months ago, all that has happened. So I think manifesting is definitely working well, isn't it?
Wow, it feels like months ago since we met, but 2 months ago, that is incredible, and I'm so pleased for you. And that's what Doreen Virtue and Cheryl Richardson and all the teachers say: when you become clear and then the universe just brings things to you like nobody's business. So I'm so pleased to hear, because the world doesn't need, but it could do with people like you who when you first spoke, everyone just clapped, and they clapped again because you've been there and you've lived it and you're living it, and there's nothing more powerful than that. So coming to today's topic of feeling good, to someone who, we know the importance of it, but to someone who's never really heard of it or paid it much heed, kind of what are the basics of feeling good? Why is it so important to your spiritual, physical, emotional well-being?
To actually feel good. I think that feeling good is the key to being successful and being healthy. And a lot of people say, well, that's okay, but how do you feel good when you don't feel good? And that's where my experience of not feeling good and turning into feeling good actually is testament to itself, because I have actually been there where I could have felt that my life was ending. I was going to die younger than I thought I should do, and there was anger, and there was a lot of physical and mental torture going on. But actually that was all going on in my head. Once you commit to letting go of anger and realize that you have huge self-worth, now that's a really important thing, is that you actually feel great about yourself. And this is where I think we create a lot of our own problems because of overthinking, and that leads to negative emotion. We're not flowing with life. We have so many nasty things going on in our heads, whether it's from other people. We allow what other people say to us or the way they treat us to actually affect us. We allow problems. Actually, we've got real problems sometimes, like diagnosis, illness. We do have real problems that we could quite well go down the route of feeling sad, angry, disappointed, poorly. But it's up to us how we choose to think. And that's the key to getting back to feeling happy quickly. When you decide to deal with those negative emotions in a positive way, so that actually you don't think about those things anymore. You actually pay them no heed at all. So a lot of the time when I'm speaking to people, they think they've got a problem stemming from what somebody has said to them a long time ago, what somebody is, how somebody has behaved, what their boss was like, what their parents were like, what their brothers and sisters were like, their aunties, their family, the people they met on holiday, the person at play school that said, something mean to them. And all these things they think have created this unhappiness. But actually, it's just our mind. They were just like things that have happened and that we've allowed, or they've allowed them to manifest into negative emotion. So it's just a case of closing the door on things and moving forward, step by step, just getting away from always drawing back to thinking about the negative things that could be going on in your life, such as if you're diagnosed with cancer. I was. So I sat there and listened to the oncologist tell me that it was incurable and blah, blah, blah. So I could have gone away from there and actually probably made myself much more ill with the physical effects of stress because, you know, your body pumps chemicals in and you feel dreadful and you can make yourself much more poorly. But the way that, I mean, it wasn't over a day. It took me a solid week of Googling how to get myself there. But the way to deal with it, and I've tried and tested it, is to get your mind clear of all the rubbish that's come before you and all the rubbish that you think might be ahead of you, is just to actually bin the whole lot. A lot of people say, oh, it's much better to go back and see what's caused it and then face your demons and all this kind of palaver. But I found that was way too time-consuming. And it was also, for me, it might suit other people, but it didn't suit me because I didn't want to feel unhappy. I wanted to cure myself, and I knew the best way to do that was being happy and let my body get more endorphins and more good hormones flowing and the feel-good factor. So it was better for me to definitely start to focus on the good things. And I started with easy things like I'm grateful for nature, I'm grateful for my healing. I've said that so many times a day. I'm really grateful for everything that I've got, for this sofa that I'm sitting on, this computer that I'm being able to Google, the fact that I woke up this morning with a pulse. You know, it was amazing. And the more things I said that I was grateful for was like it gave me a little boost inside. And I did it repetitively. And I said all day, whenever I got that little nagging insecurity or, oh, what if maybe things will go wrong and what if this will happen, I'd quickly flipped it so that I was then focused again on the good things that I had going. I had a cupboard full of stuff that I could take. I was juicing the carrots and the kale and the spinach, and it was all life. And then somebody would come along and show me a video that was like Dan the Juicing Man or something, and it was really funny watching him shove cucumbers into this juicer and shouting life, 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 and that sort of thing. So it was engulfing the positives in a massive way that started to get my mind to flip from being, oh, crikes, this is it, you know, this time, after having cancer before as well. You know, I thought, oh, you know, that's what they say, it comes back after so long and then, it, you know, that gets you. But it was a case of when those thoughts came into my head is don't let them stay there too long. Get rid, push them out, get rid, and get the good things going. And, of course, watching funny things really helps as well. So having your good friends around you. But if you haven't got good friends around you, then you might think, well, what have I got to be grateful for? What have I got to be happy about? How do I get from rock bottom to feeling happier when there's nothing in my life? And I would say to them, did you wake up this morning with a pulse? And it sounds a bit condescending, but on the days where you don't think there's anything else to be happy about, just think life is precious. Life is so precious and so short that if the only thing we can focus on is the way we're breathing, is the way that our breath is taken in naturally day in, day out. And if we are suffering with illness and pain, then focusing on breathing is one of the best meditations that you can do. Listen to your breathing. Listen to your breathing in and out and just flowing with the beauty that is your breath and that your pulse is just pulsing away there nice and gently. And that in itself, if you repeat those simple things, then eventually you will get to be feeling better. If you can't smile because there's something to smile about, fake the smiles. Fake them. Fake it till you make it. I'm always saying that. Just fake it till you make it. Just laugh. Just randomly laugh. Just have a giggle about something. Force these things because the body will react in a positive way. So if you fake smile, you can do it all the time. Very soon you start randomly smiling anyway, which is for me, it's a great thing because I know that as soon as you can feel that the smile is coming onto your face, that surge of inner happiness actually happens as well. And it's a case of do it. Don't look back at things. Never look back. Just keep going forward and then just keep focused. Keep focused on the good, the positive. If there's a window to look out of from your hospital bed, focus on something nice that you can see, even if it's the rain or a cloud or something, a plane going past. Focus on it and just focus and think, hey, I wonder where those people are going on holiday in that plane. Oh, look at the cloud. It's moving backwards and forwards and floating. It's so soft and fluffy. And, oh, that one's a bit grey. I wonder if they're going to water the plants with the rain. It's trying to find positives where you would perceive there only to be negatives. So it's seeking them out, and we can all do it. But sometimes we don't know that's the thing to do. So this is where I come in, hopefully, and you, Nick, and other people, that if we can just say one thing to inspire somebody, then they'll go and inspire somebody else, and before we know it, we'll all be inspiring each other. So what do you think of that theory then?
Wow.
I thought you dropped off.
Amazing. I love that. And that's why I think you're so brilliant as a teacher, because you've had your own life experience and you've been through it. I mean, cancer is probably one of the hardest things to take, but to be able to switch that, I think that's so truly amazing. And that's what makes you more powerful as a teacher than most people ever would be. I like to break it down for beginners. So someone who's maybe not even spiritual, but they've just received a bad news, a bad meeting with a manager, the death of someone. Actually, I've got a friend who's going through the bereavement of a family member, and again, like cancer, I don't think there's many things worse than that. What advice would you give those people who are really in the depths and who maybe can't reach for feeling good at the moment?
Yeah, well, that's what I said. There are genuine reasons for not feeling good. And obviously there's a grieving process for, a family member. Like, my father passed away 2 years ago. It is difficult to feel happy when there's such sadness. But what I would say is dwelling on the sadness creates the negative emotion that makes you unhappy. There's personal choices to make, and some people would think that grieving for a family member, you shouldn't be happy. You shouldn't, and you shouldn't express happiness. But I think that, yes, you have to go through a grieving process, but don't let it engulf your whole life. Don't let it take over you. Don't let the physical effects of the stress of a situation make you poorly because your body is reacting to it. So maybe when you're grieving over the death of somebody that you love, then it's a time to be kind to yourself and be compassionate to yourself and be compassionate to other people, and maybe live for a while giving to people your time, your energy, your words, your kind words to make other people feel better. Because if you're drawing negative emotion to yourself because you're missing the person and you feel sad, and then that will spiral down. The best way I find to deal with sadness like that, over like my father, was to show compassion to somebody else. So, that was my mother or my sister or my son or daughter or the people that knew my father. I would go out of my way to try and say something to make them feel better, so that it wasn't the focus on me and how I felt. I turned it to be the focus on them and how they knew him and how they had enjoyed time with him. And actually talking about him was a really positive thing as well, because people don't know what to say. They don't. They go, oh yeah, move on quickly. But it is actually really quite nice sometimes to be able to talk about the person that you loved that has gone. But I think showing compassion to other people during that time kind of deflects it from you, and you can sort of take a little bit while I'm helping other people during this sad time. For me, I'm going to really go out of my way to help other people get through it, and maybe do it like that. For illness and diagnosis, when you're feeling poorly, as in you have physical pain or sickness, debilitation, disability, the mind can help you a lot to get better. And I've been speaking to a lot of people. One of them was in London, a lady who I met in a coffee shop randomly. She was a neurosurgeon in London. She's retired now. But I asked her the question is, can we cure ourselves with the power of the mind? And she said, oh, yes, absolutely. And we had a lengthy discussion about the power of the mind. And basically, I believed her, and I went and did some of my own research, and I came across people that have actually cured themselves, but not just with the power of the mind, but through diet and exercise and doing healthy things. So the power of the mind is incredible where it comes to healing the body. What we've got to have is a huge belief system. We've got to believe that it is going to work, that we can actually cure ourselves, that we're going to be happy along the way, that actually this journey that we're on, because somebody's told us we've got a problem, is going to lead us to something great, is going to lead us down this wonderful path, and we're going to learn stuff and find out things, and we'll be hospital visits, and we'll meet fantastic people, clever people, and we'll be able to smile at somebody in a wheelchair and make their day, or we'll be able to help get somebody through a door, or open the door, or buy someone a cup of tea. It's getting your mindset in such a way where you're focused again on other people and not yourself, but you are focused on that huge compassion to yourself. You love yourself. You love the way your body's healing. You're saying this all the time. I'm so grateful for all this healing that's happening. I'd got YouTube up and sort of like put some Tai Chi on or something like that. In fact, the stomach operation was a bit harder because that took a lot longer to get over physically, because I've had a big surgery down the front. It's like a big zip now, but it's quite cute. So the essence of that was using visualization to believe. I used to sort of lie there on my little sofa and visualize myself out in the woods, jogging or walking or breathing the fresh air and looking out. I was very fortunate I had a garden to look out on. So I would look out and I called the room where I was sitting Marbella. I said, right, I'm going into Marbella, I'm going to have a little sit down in Marbella. And the sun would shine through the window, and I would just focus on whatever I could see, the birds in the garden. We've got 2 dogs, so I'd see them wandering past. And so during a time of illness, when somebody gets the illness, it's the distraction techniques, I think, that help you get through the best, and giving your mind a bit of a day off from worrying about the operation that's going to happen, the pills that you're going to be taking, the chemotherapy, what will happen if I get this, that, and the other. Just don't even give it any thought. Think you're already well. Just tell your mind, I'm already well. I feel marvellous, even when you don't. I'm fit, I'm happy, I'm well, I'm feeling fantastic. This day is great. Look at me looking out the window. You know, how fabulous. I'm going to make some green juice in a minute, and you know, I've got carrots in the fridge. You know, the thing is to draw upon the small things, but definitely to get your head quickly around that you're healing and you're grateful for the healing. And if you say nothing else to yourself, just keep saying that. I am so grateful for my healing. It's fantastic that I'm healing so well and I'm curing this, and I'm going to be out soon. And in fact, later on, I'm going to go for a swim, and I can't wait. Now, you know, if you can't actually go swimming, pretend and visualize it. So actually go through turning up at the swimming pool, smelling the chlorine and putting your cozy on and having a shower before you get in, and then you get into the water and, it's a bit chilly. And then you start taking a few strokes through the water and really believe that you're swimming in the water, and your body will create the same endorphin release, apparently. I think there's a bit of mixed trains of thought on this. But I have actually experienced the feel-good factor of pretending to swim. So for me, it worked. It definitely worked because I was enjoying swimming. I can actually visualize quite well. I think that the people that struggle a bit need to use a picture, you know, a picture of a beach or a swimming pool or something they can focus on looking at, and that will help to be able to get into the role play of, you know, in your head of going for a swim or doing something. Maybe you're a hiker or you fish or, you know, whatever or you did yoga or whatever, you know, your favorite pastime was that where you felt happy. You know, pick that. And if you're not the type that can visualize it easily, look at pictures, look at photos and think, take yourself back to a place where you felt really good and relive it, you know, relive that happy time. And your body will really like that. You know, the physical effects will be so good that you'll be like, wow, this is great. And you do mend, your body does mend. But then there's the nutrition side of feeling good, is only feeding your body what's good for it. Don't abuse it with the wrong things. You know, I was quite, when I didn't make many changes the first time when I got breast cancer, or the second time I thought I was going to lose my stomach. So, but I didn't. I lost a bit of it, but not much. But the third, the liver diagnosis last year, I decided finally I was listening to the indicators that I've been given, and finally I decided to give up all the bad stuff. So I gave up alcohol and coffee and tea and dairy and bread and gluten, and I went raw vegan for a while and started juicing. So it was like a big, whoa, right, body, you know, here you go, here's a detox. And I think that helped me as well because I felt like I was doing all the right things to cure myself. You know, I actually felt, yeah, you know, I've got the discipline for this. It's a no-brainer, really. Carry on abusing yourself or live. That was to me, my mindset. So it was a case of, yeah, I can do this. And you do. Human resilience is fantastic. You actually start to really, really get into what you're doing. You know, you quit the sugar. You don't even start wanting sugar anymore. You quit the alcohol because you don't want to wake up with a hangover and know that your liver is going to have to deal with all that poison and that stuff that's going into your body. You don't want your insulin levels spiking and your body having to cope with all that, or your body having to deal with too much protein. So, you know, the feel-good also comes from what we're putting into ourselves. You know, if we're living off fast food and fatty stuff and pizzas and, you know, the wrong food, we're not going to feel that great. We're really not going to feel that great. So loads of water. I drank tons of water and lemon juice and everything that I knew would flush out my system. And that just going through the process of doing that made me feel better as well. So it's kind of like when you've got that diagnosis of something poorly, try and do things that you know will benefit your body. Don't do the things that you know won't. Give them up. Give them up and just think, no, I want to feel good. I want to feel really good. So you get your head engaged, you get your body engaged with good nutrition, and you do some great breathing exercises and a bit of meditation, and, you start to really enjoy the benefits of what it's like to actually feel good. But there's loads of other things to do as well. Like, shall I carry on, Nick?
Oh, yes, please,
all
actually.
Right?
No, I made a little checklist and I'm going through it.
Yeah. Singing, like music. If you can't feel happy, and try and enhance that by playing your favourite music. You know that feeling where you're driving along in your car and your favourite track comes on, or it's a boppy one that you used to dance to, and you can feel that little bit of elation in you. Try and recreate that during times where you're feeling low to boost the way you're getting there. And singing is a marvellous way. If you can actually sing along to something, that gives you all lovely chemical releases, and it's hugely beneficial. But just this evening, I was reading an article that someone sent me about chanting and mantras. They've been proven to actually relieve stress. So listening to repetitive chanting can actually help you give your brain your mind a bit of a day off as well. So stuff like that. I got into the Hare Krishna chanting and Buddhist like Om Mani Padme Hum, and it was repetitive, and it wasn't for spiritual. I knew I felt better, but I didn't know why. But it's because of the way the brain actually works. You're giving it the same thing, and it's very soothing and relaxing, and all of a sudden, when you do this repetitively, day after day after day after day, your mind actually changes somehow. I don't know. We'd need to speak to the brain person to explain that one to us. But your mind changes to feeling better, to being able to cope, to be more logical, to be more rational. This negative emotion that you used to feel when someone sent you a funny text or something, you just don't feel it anymore. It is just gone. You don't feel it. And it's because you've put the work in on being free and flowing with life. So I love music and singing and even dancing. Dancing is really good too. Putting your favourite track on and having a little jig around the living room. It's all really good stuff. So getting that feel-good factor, I think, get the key ingredients right. Get your mind right, get your body right, get your nutrition right, your exercise, and then keep faking it until you actually make it.
Wow.
What do you think, Nick?
Wow. I think that's freaking amazing. And actually, I think you mentioned the word earlier, but discipline or whatever you want to call it, I think that's one of your strengths that puts you above 99% of the people, because as a teacher, I see that those who put in the work gain the most. It really is that simple. Oprah or Louise Hay or somebody said, it only works if you work it. So for the most of the people who are willing but not necessarily able to keep up with the whole discipline or make it a daily practice, because I'm big on daily practice, what do either you do or what would you recommend them do to just keep them on the path as much as possible?
Okay, well, if, I really love the idea of people sitting down and doing sort of 10 minutes a day of letting... Well, as soon as I say meditation to people, they step back from me and go, oh, no, I'm not doing all that, So I'm just saying, let's call it something else then, a relaxology or something cool like that, But I do think that if everyone can find 3 to 10 minutes every day to let go of thoughts. Just let go of thoughts. Do a breathing meditation, and that is the minimum really to do. If they say, oh no, I can't do that, I can't sit down and do 3 minutes, then do living meditations, and that's mindfulness. Now this is another thing that I really, really love. Once you get mindful about everything, your life is enhanced because you're enjoying every single minute of every day, or at least you're noticing these minutes of every day in a joyous way. So a living meditation could be where you're noticing things. So say you're cooking dinner. Instead of just cooking dinner, just getting things out of the fridge and chucking them in a pan and blah, blah, actually pay attention to what ingredients you're using. Lay them out in front of you. Have a look at them. Pick them up. Notice the colour of the carrots and the celery and the whatever else, the potatoes or whatever you're making for your dinner. Just notice them. And that is a really good living meditation, is just saying, oh, that's really great. Look at that. Look at this food that I'm going to put in this pan. What sort of oil am I using? Oh, that's good. That's quite healthy for you. And talk yourself through something. Or you can do it while you're driving. It's always great to be a bit mindful when you're driving so you don't smash into something. But say, oh, yeah, I'm driving along now and I'm looking 200 yards ahead. Oh, yeah, I'm going to indicate in a minute to turn left. And I'm going around the corner. Oh, there's a big tree there, and I'm going to pull out. It's just sort of like paying attention to what you're doing rather than just mindlessly ploughing your way through your life. Stop. Take heed of where you are right there in the moment. And if you're having a social time, really involve yourself in that social time. Don't just sit back and let it happen around you. Throw yourself in there. Realize your self-worth. Really, really start to appreciate yourself as being a decent, good person and not the person that you thought you were or they think you are or you're scared of becoming, or just be you, because you are great, and the great things will start coming out of you once you realize that you do have such great self-worth. You don't need to make excuses for yourself. So living meditation, if you can do that, that's just a case of, well, carry on with your day, but just pay attention to it. Just pay attention a little bit more, and maybe pay someone a compliment, just to, look for good things in people. That's a good living meditation. If you're going to work and you've got a boss and you've got colleagues, look for the good things that are going to come out from them during the day, rather than going into work and thinking, oh, great, another day at the office, this is going to be fab, isn't it? Oh, yeah, look at them over there, all smart, and look at me with my broken shoe. Just try not to dwell on things that are going to bring you down. Just focus on good things about them, because once you start noticing, oh, I like that jumper, that's really nice, and just little things, it enhances your mood as well. When you're thinking about yourself, like, oh, crikes, I could do with a new jumper. You look at their new jumper and you think, oh, I wish I had a new jumper. Well, that's kind of negative. So you just really praise them up for having a new jumper and say, well, I'd like a new jumper soon, and, then next week you'll probably get a new jumper. But I know it sounds a bit daft and a bit small, but it is the small things and paying attention to them that is a mindful sort of living meditation, as I've called it. I've just made it up, I've made it up over the last year, where I was thinking, oh, I haven't sat down and meditated today. Oh, and I kind of missed it, and I haven't done it, and think, well, you're never going to learn, if you don't sit down and do it. But that's negative as well. So you just have to drop that completely and go, well, okay, what can I do now? Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'll look at that glass of water. In fact, if you can look at something that has vibrational energy, like trees or running water or something, and you just focus on that, while you're filling up the kettle, focus on the water running from the tap into the kettle. That's living meditation. And that's just a distraction for the brain. It's just like giving a little minute off, and we go, look at the water coming out of that tap. How grateful am I that there's water coming out of that tap? You know, that could be the only thing that you can grasp onto that day to enhance the way you feel. But you start having a bit of a giggle about it as well, because you go, oh yeah, look at me putting the kettle on there. Oh, and I'm going in, getting the cup out. Oh gosh, there, look, I've even got coffee and tea. I've even got chamomile tea. Oh, get me with the chamomile tea. You know, you can actually make a living meditation out of anything that you do. Absolutely anything. Cleaning out your shoe cupboard. You know, you just pay attention to it and go, oh, I didn't realize I had so many pairs of shoes. Isn't that marvelous? Oh, I love those shoes. I'm grateful for that. No, they could do with a bit of a clean. Oh, I'll get on to do that in a minute. You know, it's just a case of flow, 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 and just let the good things pop into your head instead of the bad things. Just let the good things pop into your head. And if the bad things pop into your head, just move them aside, say thank you very much, think about that later, and just get back to the flowy niceness of the little tiny good things that you can see and that you can hold on to, and you can just enjoy there and then in that moment that is your precious life.
Wow. And
Can you do that, Nick?
Indeed. And you've kind of covered this already. But cancer and stuff like that is kind of time dependent. What about someone who feels fat or who has childhood issues, which is with them every day, and every time they look in the mirror, they feel, oh, I'm so fat, or I'm too this, or I've got a spot, or things which are constant, which have been with them since children, since bullying or whatever. What advice would you have for them to break the cycle?
Okay, right. Well, the first thing is, I used to run a slimming club, so I love helping people to feel better. It's not about being fat or thin, it's about feeling better. It's having self-worth is really, really important, and actually really liking yourself. I think what you've said there is childhood issues and negativity that you've taken through to adult life. Okay, enough's enough. It's time to drop all that old baggage, chuck it out, burn it, and just think about, right, here I am right now. What do I want? What do I actually want for me in my life? Say you've been overweight forever. Well, that doesn't mean to say you've got to be overweight forever. That means, actually, I don't want to be overweight anymore. And it's getting that mindset. It's getting that discipline, determination, and focus. Because what you're going to do is get healthy. You're going to get healthy, and you're going to start loving yourself. And the weight will come off. With a bit of education on nutrition, because sometimes it's, you've been brought up thinking that that's a healthy way to live, and it actually isn't. It just needs a little tweak here and there. But it's about feeling good on a daily basis about who you are, what you are, how you're looking. Don't even look at the spot on your face. We all get a spot on our faces every now and again, but we don't make it the main focus of our lives. It isn't who we are. That spot doesn't determine what our personality is like and how much love in our heart we've got and how we're going to help an old lady cross the road. That spot has got nothing to do with us. So it's dropping the old baggage, I'll call it, not the old bags, and moving forward in a very, very positive light, because today is the day that you start to be healthy and love yourself. And it doesn't matter if you've lost 10 stone and put it all back on again. Don't even give it any thought, because it's gone and we can't get the time back, and it doesn't matter. Today is the important day. So what we've got to do is learn how to love ourselves, feel absolutely brilliant along the way. While we're going along this journey of getting our body in shape, it's feeling good along the way every day, so that we can just keep giving ourselves a good old pat on the back and saying, I love feeding myself with good, healthy food. I love doing a bit of exercise. It's brilliant when I sit down and meditate. You can find guided meditations on, weight loss, self-esteem. You can find them on anything that you want to. Hydration. It's just, you need some hope. Somebody, and that's you and me and all the people out there, somebody can give you a bit of hope, and you can say, of course you can do it. You can do it. In fact, on one of the meditations on the little CD, I've used it. I don't know if you've seen the video for the London and meetup thing, but it's got, you can do it at the end. And that was a friend of mine, not a friend, he did the CD for me, Matt from Liverpool. And it's so empowering to hear. I just love hearing him say it at the end of this track. It's just, you can do it. Once you start believing that you can do it, you will do it. If you think, I can't do this, it's too hard, I'll never do it, then you won't. You won't. Just drop all that completely. Start a new day. Every day you get a new chance. Every day you've got a new start. Every minute, if you decide to, you've got the ability to turn things around. You just need to get your head around it and just start being kind and compassionate towards yourself and say, well, okay, I'm 5 stone overweight. I'm going to just get into juicing and healthy eating, and I'm going to start feeling better. And in 6 weeks, the first 6 weeks is the hardest part, is getting the new habit of being kinder to yourself and being healthier and eating well and doing that bit of power walking and a bit of stretching, not too much. You're just starting off nice and easy, and you say to yourself, this time next year I'm going to be feeling so much better and I just can't wait, but I'm going to enjoy every single day while I'm getting there. So I'm not going to beat myself up, if I put a pound on 1 week or something. I'm just going to enjoy along the way. So the long-term result, it's a lifestyle change. It's not just a quick fix diet to go on. It's a lifestyle change that from now on, you've decided enough is enough. I want to feel fitter and happier and well. So therefore, I've got to get rid of the bad things that are making me feel bad, which is the poor diet, lack of exercise. There's lack of self-worth, the negativity, the negative emotion. So once you've got into nice new habits, and I think about 6 weeks is habit forming, then you'll be flying and you'll be feeling so good along the way to your weight loss. And, you said about people who've got childhood issues. There are serious, serious childhood issues that people have. And I think at one of your meetings, Nick, the lady, did say quite a severe issue that she'd been through. But she was there, she was sat there, and she was the most positive person that you could meet because she felt the pain of that and she didn't want to feel it anymore. So she decided to let go of the past, let go of the negative emotion that surrounded it, and to focus her mind on the good in her life and how she felt and how she wanted to feel. And, she did everything that she could to get rid of the painful thoughts that crop up from the past. So it's a case for her of not dwelling on those thoughts, that when they came into her head that she dismissed them. She said, I accept that they've happened to me, but from now on I move forward, and I move forward only, and I'm flowing with life, and I'm, reaching forward, feeling good. None of us are perfect. None of us are going to have 100% where we feel fantastic all of the time. We're going to have little dippy moments. So just don't let those dippy moments stay too long back on track, and just think, actually, yeah, I can learn something here, but thank you very much. I'm now going to get back onto my focus, which is being happy and healthy and well and free from stress and looking good and buying a new lipstick or doing something to treat yourself, even if it's taking a walk out in the countryside or down to the beach or, just around the cobbly streets of London, try and go to somewhere green for a little change, but do something to treat yourself. But it doesn't have to be by eating cake or swilling down a bottle of wine. Treating yourself is by treating yourself kindly and nicely, going for a walk, breathing in the fresh air, standing, buying yourself a bunch of flowers, just something simple. If you can't buy yourself a bunch of flowers because you don't have enough money, then just go and pick a leaf off someone's tree and put that in some water. There's always something that you can do. And just look at that leaf and think, that is so nice, that leaf. Look at the little veins running through it. Maybe it's going a little bit coppery with the autumn. Look at the beauty in it and all the nice, good points about it. So does that answer the question, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. That is freaking amazing. Okay, the past hour has just flown by. So last couple of questions.
Okay.
Everyone's just inspired now to feel good. What are the further resources? Your websites, other people's websites, authors you like, books which inspire you. Where would someone go to next?
Yeah. Well, obviously they're very welcome to come to our meetings, aren't they? So they need to go on meetup.com and look for Liverpool or London. Yours is Law of Attraction, mine's Inspire Yourself Now, and then that's always a good place to start, because they might find other groups there that they might find, more in keeping with what they want to do. Books-wise, I just love books. Let's see. There's a little book of mindfulness, which is a little fabulous little book. Stop Thinking, Start Living, Richard Carlson. That's quite an old book, but there's bits in it that it's quite small print actually. Thoughts Grow with Attention, that sort of thing. It's more psychology. I like easy books. I like books with pictures in, basically. Show me some pictures, that'll keep me happy. Like maybe looking into yoga, something like that. Get a book that's going to inspire you into doing a bit of exercise. Something that's you can just easily look at and pull out. Books, I like The Secrets, I like The Power, any of the Abraham Hicks books, any of those. Nick, you'll know them more than me, but I tend to listen to things, like I'll go on to the Abraham Hicks website or YouTube, and TED Talks. I think TEDTalks.com. If you can always find someone inspirational on them. There are fantastic educational talks. You can get them online, or you can, you could go on Google mindfulness, meditation, feeling good. There's the internet there, and there's masses and masses of information. I would start looking at maybe alkaline living as well, which is where you change from being acidic to being alkaline. That's a really good health bonus. So having a look at something like that, maybe buy yourself an alkaline cookery book, maybe, those sort of things.
Cool. Okay, so last question. To summarize your view of feeling good, what are your top 1, 3, 5, or whatever amount of top tips for feeling good for life?
Okay. Well, trying to get to that place where your energy can just flow, your mind can just flow. Feeling good, faking it until you make it. So faking smiles, faking happiness, laughing. Watch videos or something funny. Keep humour in your life somewhere. Sing, dance, chant, meditate. Just keep treating yourself kindly. Show compassion to others. Show compassion to yourself. Exercise. Get out there. Do the exercise that you can do. If you can't exercise, visualize exercising. And fill your heart with gratitude and express gratitude on a big daily basis. And I'd say I'd put that to number 1, really, is just be grateful for everything that comes your way, everything that you get to eat, everything that you drink. And in 6 weeks' time, if you focus on the mindfulness, you will definitely be starting to feel more randomly happy. Well, by that I just mean that occasionally you'll just go, oh God, I do feel good, I do, and you'll have a giggle and you'll find that you're smiling more at people and having a chat with them, and you're just generally uplifted, and it's really because you've found out that you actually do quite like yourself after all. So good luck, everybody, and you can email me, inspireyourselfnow@outlook.com. So I'm always happy to receive some emails and have a little chat. Or Facebook, I think it's Inspire Yourself Now on Facebook, and we can have a chat via the messenger on there. So, yeah, always there to try and do my bit. And thank you, Nick. Thanks for having me on the program tonight.